see my family and just move back home because it's like your kids. Hello. My name is Faith and welcome to my platform where we look at what it means to live an abundant life. Basically, tasting and seeing that the Lord is good. If you are new here or if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're a frequent visitor but have not yet committed, what are you waiting for? Make sure that you hit that subscribe and the notification bell so that you stayed clued up. So in the previous video, I mentioned that I am relocating to Porch. So I've recently moved to Porch. And if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link it up there. Please make sure that you do go check that video out. So I was basically talking about the fact that I'm moving to Porch and why I'm moving to Porch. But I must admit that I am struggling quite a bit. The first week I wasn't struggling, so it's only been 2 weeks. And the first week I wasn't really struggling, but the second week, I just I can't articulate. Like there's just some sort of wave that just came and it hit me because towards the end of the first week, I started getting homesick, kind of wanted to go back to Bloom and go see my family and just move back home because it's like your kids. And I think the second week, now that the excitement is dying down and my mind is finally caught up to the fact that we're here now and this is our reality, it's funny how I've moved from yay I can do this to I don't know, can I do this? And that's exactly what I wanted to talk about today, just like navigating a new season, because I think all of us go through a new season. And I think after we get through the excitement of the answered prayer, after we've waited so long for God to come through for us, immediately after we get through the excitement, the first thing that hits us is, can we actually do this? Are we capable enough to do this thing that which we've been praying for? And so it is important to not neglect the fact that this is an answered prayer, and one should celebrate the fact that this is an answered prayer. But I think it is also very important to look at how do we then cope or manage with the struggles of a new season. Because like I said, the first 2 weeks I've been going through a lot of emotions and a lot of thoughts. Like it's been like a roller coaster, because the very first day or the day before I started work or the day before I even came here, I was like really excited because I was like, yay, God came through, answered my prayer. God is amazing. God is great. And then in the middle of the first week, I started feeling like, man, I want to go back home because I have like this overwhelming feeling of discomfort. Because one, everybody here speaks a different language, and although it's still very close to Sotho, it's because a lot of people, or majority of the people here speak Tswana, and so still, although that it's still close to Sotho, it still feels a little bit weird because here and there you don't understand what people are saying, and especially at work because there are a lot of different people that speak a lot of different languages, and so that was very uncomfortable for me at first because I'm like, am I going to be able to communicate well with people? Am I going to be able to understand what people are saying? And is it going to go on? I think it's still something I'm struggling with, that whole discomfort of a new language, and also then the discomfort of being the new person at work. Someone once said arriving to a new job is like watching a new series where you're starting at season 3 and everybody else is in on the inside joke except you. And that's exactly what it feels like, because everybody is familiar with everybody and people have their own language and way of doing things, and you feel like the odd one out and you just there in your little corner just trying to hide. And that's exactly how I've been feeling the first week and at the beginning of this week, feeling like, oh man, I'm the new one here and everybody is just familiar with everyone, and I feel like I just want to go hide because I'm like, your tits. And also then just the whole being out of your comfort zone, because I think it's one thing to start a new job in a town or city where you've been living for a while. It's another thing to start a new job in a different town or a different city altogether, because everything is new. Okay, you keep getting lost. You keep trying to figure out which place is the best place to buy stuff. You always feel like, like you have like, I don't know, like a tag on your back or something that says, hey, I'm new, look at me. And so it is so uncomfortable. It's this overwhelming feeling of discomfort where I'm just like, hey guys, like, I'm done, okay? Like, it's enough, it's a lot. And also, this whole like identity crisis, I think for me, I don't know if it's something that which everybody is experiencing or somebody has experienced before, but I think the first week I kind of had like this identity crisis, simply because, and it was because of such a small thing. At work, we can't really dress up because we're always busy running around and stuff. So I'm always wearing jeans, and I'm always wearing either my fallies or my safety shoes, depending what I'm going to be doing that day. And I think for me it was kind of difficult to figure out really who am I supposed to be now that I cannot become a fashion baby, Because the nice thing that I liked about being in academia or working for the university is that I got to dress up. On days that I wasn't feeling so great, I could always put on like a fire look and have my heels and dress up. And don't get me wrong, I love the fact that I've transitioned into this field. Sorry, because it's something that I've always wanted. But now I was having a bit of an identity crisis because I'm like, yikes. One, I don't have the right clothes for this job right now. Two, I don't feel like myself fully in these clothes because I can't fully express who I am or, express how I'm feeling, because I'll always express how I'm feeling through the way in which I dress. If I'm feeling really good about myself that day, I dress up bourgeois, and look fancy and go out and go have like a fancy day. But now it's kind of like, oh man, I need to learn to have my identity be so rooted in Christ and in God, having God tell me who I am. Because again, I cannot have my clothes define me. I cannot also have my job define me. And so I think for me, that is also something that which I've been struggling with, having a minor identity crisis. Because I'm like, yikes, man, like, who am I supposed to be now? And so, I'm not gonna lie, these past 2 weeks I've been struggling. And maybe I'm just venting in this video, but that's what I wanted to talk about, because I think after we get through the excitement is immediately the challenges that which we're faced with. And it's important to figure out how to navigate, how to make it through the first few weeks of transitioning into a new season, because it's always awkward. Like towards the end of an old season, you kind of know the season is ending because you're like in this season or in this period of transitioning. It's like when you go to a restaurant and you order takeaway and they give you your receipt, but you're just waiting there for your food. That's what it feels like. It's like you already have your order, but it's not there yet, so you're just waiting for it. And ideally also in the new season, it's like you're a brand new person in a brand new field or a brand new space, and who you used to be doesn't necessarily work anymore. So again, it's like you're learning to walk so that you can try to figure out who you're supposed to be now and how you're supposed to navigate and move. So again, learning to find rhythm and a routine. Again, learning to be a little bit more comfortable, because I think when you're in a new season, your senses are always heightened. It's like you're always on alert, always watching out, always wondering, yikes, is this right? And so I think it's always important to find a way to navigate. And I think first and foremost, what is really important, right, is your relationship with God, because your relationship with God transcends all seasons. It doesn't matter which season you're in. As long as you remain in God and God remains in you, you don't have to worry about anything. Because that's what John 15 says, that if we abide in him and he abides in us, right, then that leads to us being fruitful. So it doesn't matter which season you are in, whether you are in the valley, right, so the wilderness season, or whether you're on the mountain, the season of being fruitful and being successful and just blooming. If you remain connected to God, ultimately he will always guide you through the season, helping you see what you need to learn, helping you to see what you need to do, what you need to figure out, and so forth. So I think that is the very first and most important thing. Remaining connected to God, ultimately continuing to pursue your specific relationship with the Lord. Remembering that if He is your foundation, then you won't ever be lost, or He won't allow you to be led astray. Jude 1:24 says that He is the God who is able to keep us. And so that is very important. And then number 2, I think a support structure is very, very important. During the week, I was having a moment where I was like really doubting myself, and I was going through the most. And I sent my sissy a little text because I was like, hey, I actually sent her a voice note. I was like, hey, I'm like struggling a bit at work. I'm like doubting myself, and I'm not really sure if I'm doing things right. And she was so calm. She was like, hey, no, why are you doubting yourself if people don't doubt you? Like, you need to learn to be patient with yourself. You need to learn to be gracious with yourself. And I really appreciate her so much for comforting me in such a beautiful way. So I think also, secondly, when you're navigating a new season, it's important to have a support system that which you can rely on, that which you can depend on, that which you can talk to and be like, hey, today I'm not having a good day, or hey, I need some space, or hey, so forth and so forth. So again, having people in your life that get you and understand you and want to support you is something that is actually really, really important. And I also think number 3, I don't know why I'm doing it like this, but hey, number 3, I think is also important to learn to be a little bit gentle towards yourself, like being more gracious towards yourself. Like I said, you're learning to walk. This is a new season. You've never been here before, and so you cannot expect yourself to run or to walk when you're still trying to figure out your balance and everything. So it's important to show yourself grace. When you make mistakes, that's how you learn. When you are not being your best self or showing up as your best self, that's also how you learn. Trying to then figure out who you're supposed to be now, and how do you then grow in this season that which God has presented to you. Because when we think about seasons, they are inevitable, and because they are inevitable, one is always going to go through this period of change, trying to then figure out, who am I now? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to be influential or impactful in this role that I'm supposed to be in? And it's always through showing yourself grace and patience and love and kindness that you actually give yourself enough room to grow, enough room to see who you're supposed to be now, or see how you're supposed to then navigate through this new season that which the Lord has allowed you to step into. And so I think for anyone that is transitioning into a new season, it's always important to evaluate really where your strength comes from, where your support comes from, and how you can then be a little bit loving towards yourself. And I think, as much as I was kind of venting, I hope that this will also help someone, because I think that this is going to help me again. So I'm definitely going to watch this vlog again. But I think it is very important that we find ways in which we navigate through the first few moments of a new season, like transitioning into a new season. And like I said, having God with you, having a support system with you, and understanding that it's important for you to love yourself and show yourself grace in a new season is very important. Obviously, there are many more other things that could be beneficial towards this transition. If you have any in mind, please make sure that you leave them in the comment section so we can discuss it and go through it. So that is just what I wanted to share with you today. And obviously, as I continue through this journey or continue in this new town, I'm going to share more. And we will then see what the Lord has in store for us. Please make sure that you like this video. Please make sure that you comment. And please make sure that you then subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.